What if Tanjiro had foresight? So, there's a lot of different types of foresight. Just like Night Eye from My Hero Academia. He can see someone's long future by touching them, and he can also see a short future for more combat-type predictions. Then, there's Takemichi from Tokyo Revengers, who has foresight by going back in time and returning. And early on in the manga, he can see a small glimpse of the future to predict the next move. But the version I really want is Rudeus Greyrat's foresight from Mushoku Tensei. His foresight lets him see less than 10 seconds into the future, showing all the possible outcomes of someone's movements so he can predict the best reaction. It's not super overpowered, but it's extremely helpful. Now, while I say it's powerful, it still needs limitations, because Tanjiro can't be instantly on upper moon level just because of foresight. This type of foresight keeps him grounded to his normal self. If Tanjiro can't move as fast as an upper moon or a Hashira, he can't fully react in time. Even if he sees their moves ahead, his body, his speed, and his reaction time still matter. He can see the attack coming, but if he can't counter it fast enough, he'll still get knocked out or killed. So that's the version I'm using, and Tanjiro gets this ability from birth. Let's get right into it. Tanjiro goes to sell charcoal. He goes back up the mountain when it's nighttime. The old man tells him, "Don't go back up there. Demons roam at night," and tells him to stay with him. Tanjiro stays, then goes back up the mountain in the morning and finds his whole family dead. Nezuko, his sister, is turning into a demon. Tanjiro tries to find help and meets Giyu. Giyu tries to kill Nezuko, they fight, and Giyu tells him to go to Urokodaki. Urokodaki thinks Tanjiro is a prodigy just like Sabito was, but believes Tanjiro might have even more potential than Sabito. After starting training, Tanjiro and Urokodaki obviously talk about how his training is going, and Tanjiro asks if everybody can see what he sees. He explains that he sees different options, like different outlines of where people are going to move next. Urokodaki says that's rare, and that nobody has ever had something like that before. They learn to train with it more, and Urokodaki explains that this is basically predicting the future, because Tanjiro can see moves before they happen. His brain is showing him what someone is thinking of doing based on their movement. So if Urokodaki plans to go right, Tanjiro's foresight will show him go right, or whichever direction the body is shifting toward. Tanjiro then goes to final selection and clears it easily because he has foresight. He basically dodges, just like in the Ultra Instinct timeline I did. Go check it out right now if you want to see that. But anyway, he does everything the same, just way better, and takes less damage because he has foresight. He does all his missions the same. Defeats the Swamp Demon, defeats the Drum Demon, but this time he dodges every drum attack perfectly because of foresight, meets Inosuke and Zenitsu, and goes all the way to Rui's Mountain. Rui's Mountain is where the big changes start. With foresight, Tanjiro easily predicts all the demon slayers getting strung up by the Mother Demon, and they defeat her way easier since Tanjiro already knows where the threads are going to move. After that, they defeat the Mother Demon. Now with the Father Demon, Tanjiro still gets blasted away because he didn't know blocking that attack would do nothing. Unlike the Ultra Instinct timeline, he can still choose to block attacks if he wants to, but he didn't know that blast wouldn't hurt him, so he gets blown away like normal. He finds Nezuko being tortured, and Tanjiro breaks his sword. But this time, Tanjiro can dodge Rui's webs perfectly. He keeps his sword from breaking a second time, and when he uses sun breathing with Nezuko's blood demon art, he can actually cut Rui's head off because he's in much better shape. He took almost no damage thanks to foresight. He kills Lower Moon 5, or whatever number Rui officially is, and people start to think he might become a Hashira, since killing a Lower Moon is one requirement. But Tanjiro's way too nice, and he's still not strong enough to actually be Hashira level yet. Now at the Hashira meeting, the reason is still the same. He's traveling with a demon. Sanemi and Tanjiro still clash, but Tanjiro can actually dodge Sanemi's attacks this time and predict his movements. Everything still happens the same with Sanemi stabbing Nezuko and the Master stopping the fight, with Urokodaki, the former Hashira, and Giyu, the current Hashira, vouching for him. Nezuko gets accepted into the Corps. After that, they all heal up, though Tanjiro barely had any injuries this time, and they go on the Mugen train because Tanjiro wants to learn more about sun breathing. So everything basically happens the same in the Mugen train. Tanjiro can't see through Enmu's trap, so Rengoku, Nezuko, and Zenitsu protect the train, while Tanjiro and Inosuke defeat Lower Moon 1, Enmu. Then the train derails, and this is where we see Upper Moon 3 versus Rengoku. Now, you guys are probably thinking Tanjiro would help here, but just like I explained at the beginning of the video, Tanjiro cannot see or predict Upper Moon's movements because they're just way too fast, and Rengoku is too fast as well. So even if Tanjiro tried to jump into the fight, he would get obliterated. He's not strong enough to react to their movements at all. So Rengoku sadly still dies in the Mugen train arc. But now we get to the the entertainment district arc right after this, so let's see if anything changes there. After Tanjiro gets healed up, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu go with Tengen instead of the girls. They go to the entertainment district, dress up as girls, and try to find Upper Moon 6 Daki. Once they find her, I'm skipping straight to the part where Tanjiro is fighting her. The scene where his eyes go red. Tengen, Inosuke, Zenitsu, and his 3 wives are all fighting the belt demon, which is half of Daki. This time, I think Tanjiro would actually chop off Daki's neck because he can get way closer and predict her movements. When he enters that eye state, which he already did in the original timeline, it puts all her movements into one clear path. With foresight, he wastes less movement and uses way less strain, so he cuts off Daki's head and Gyutaro pops out, but this time, Tengen, Inosuke, and Zenitsu jump in immediately, instead of Nezuko having to save him. Now all of them are fighting. Tanjiro is slightly boosted since the last fight, so he can see a little bit of Gyutaro's movements and help Tengen more efficiently this time. Everything basically goes the same. All of them end up under rubble, but this time, Tengen would not lose his arm because Tanjiro stayed in Tengen's battle the whole time with Gyutaro. So Tanjiro and Tengen are double teaming Gyutaro, while Zenitsu bursts out of the rubble, and Inosuke gets up from his he should be dead but somehow lived injuries. Bro, they just pulled that out of nowhere. He moved his organs or consciousness or some special shit. I think it's crazy, but if you guys don't like and subscribe, you'll end up like him and somehow survive anyway. Back to the fight. Daki gets killed by Zenitsu and Inosuke, and Tanjiro and Tengen kill Gyutaro. Tanjiro still gets the sickle through his chin because that part is unavoidable. He knew it was coming in the original timeline, but he had to take it to finish the swing. He unlocks his Demon Slayer mark, and all of them get healed up. Nezuko removes all the poison just like before. And now we get to the next arc, which is the Swordsmith Village arc. Holy crap, I need to take a breather. I just explained that super fast, but anyway, I'm trying to make this under 15 minutes because my last videos have been all over the place. If you guys want to know what video I'm doing next, or if you want me to pick out a good idea for my next video, make sure you click the Discord link down below and join my Discord. That's where I'll be talking to you guys the most about my videos from now on. So, the Swordsmith Village arc. Everything is basically the same. I'm skipping most of the dialogue. He meets Mitsuri, he meets Muichiro, he meets Genya, he trains with the doll, blah blah blah. All that still happens. I want to skip straight to the part where Muichiro pinches Tanjiro's nose and then Upper Moon 4 appears. Tanjiro fights all 4 emotion clones, and everything basically happens the same. Muichiro still gets blasted away. He goes back to the village and helps the village chief, then comes back stronger. Upper Moon 5, Gyoko, still fights him, and Muichiro still wins that fight, unlocking his Demon Slayer mark. Tanjiro gets his new sword, and because he's less hurt than in the original timeline, he can actually perform thunder-breathing first form from what he learned from Zenitsu, which honestly, I can kind of see happening, because somebody said all the breathing styles come from sun breathing anyway. So Muichiro throws the sword, it sticks in the ground, Tanjiro grabs it, and kills Upper Moon 4 using foresight. He doesn't get nearly as hurt this time. He goes back for the Hashira training arc. The Hashira training arc basically happens the same too, but with foresight, and since he's already leveled up now with his Demon Slayer mark, he can see a lot more and fight way better in this timeline, so he actually saves a lot more people. After the Hashira training arc, he learns everything the same, but he just trains earlier because he wasn't as injured. Then the Ubuyashiki family head dies from Muzan's explosion, trapping everyone inside the Infinity Castle. This time, Tanjiro and Giyu versus Akaza happens super fast because Tanjiro can see all of Akaza's movements, and since Tanjiro is almost basically Hashira level, he can actually stand on his own against Akaza. He keeps up with Giyu and Akaza, unlocks his selfless state, and kills Akaza way faster. That gives them the idea to split up, instead of waiting for the Ubuyashiki plan of moving everyone together. Tanjiro goes to the Upper Moon 1 battle, and Giyu goes to Upper Moon 2. Shinobu already passed away at this point, so Giyu helps Inosuke and Kanao to defeat Doma way easier. Kanao doesn't have to use her eyes as much, so she isn't nearly as blind during the final battle. When Tanjiro gets to the Kokushibo fight, Muichiro is already in a fatal wound state, basically half dead. So Tanjiro, Sanemi, and Gyome finish Kokushibo. It's still very hard, even with Tanjiro, because they have to bring Kokushibo down gently by hitting him with the truth about his brother always being better than him. Like always, because he's Yoriichi. Everything in the Infinity Castle happens the same, and they get out with Muichiro and Shinobu dead, and Genya dying in the Infinity Castle arc too. So now we move on to the Sundown Countdown arc. Tanjiro isn't out of the battle right away this time. He's actually on the front lines from the start of the Muzan fight, and since Muzan is slowing down, Tanjiro can read his movements a lot better, which lets him protect everyone around him. So people who normally can't keep up, like Mitsuri, Obanai, and others, Tanjiro tells them to stay back and support, because he can see most of Muzan's movements. Gyome and Sanemi help him the most, since they're the 2 strongest, plus Giyu joining in. With that, Tanjiro helps everyone survive way longer than in the original timeline. After defeating Muzan, after dragging him into the sun and ending ending the fight, Gyomei still dies because of the Demon Slayer mark. You have to be under 25 to survive it, and he's past 25, so he dies the same night. After that, Mitsuri and Obanai survive in this timeline, so they get together. Gyu is alone because Shinobu died, but he doesn't lose an arm this time. Sanemi survives like always, and he apologizes to Nezuko, and Muichiro still dies, which is sad. This timeline isn't as perfect, but I think you guys would like a Danger Sense episode, or half cold, half hot. If you want to vote for my next video, go down to my posts or check out the Discord I just made. That's where you can tell me your ideas. Go to general or anime chat and drop what ifs you want to see. Personally, you guys should pick. What if Tanjiro had half cold, half hot like Todoroki? Imagine him shooting giant ice chunks. But anyway, make sure to like, subscribe, and click on this video right here if you like my content.